now expected to hear arguments in the recusal application brought by former President Jacob Zuma's legal team. Zuma's legal team is accusing the NPA prosecutor Billy Downer of leaking his medical information. The former president is currently on medical parole. Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge is following this story for us and joins us now. Spa, what's expected to happen in court tomorrow?
You can't really tell for certain. It all depends, on former President Jacob Zuma's status in terms of his health. We understand that he's still in hospital. There is no official confirmation that he's been discharged. But in terms of what Judge Bidkun handed down and ordered last time we were here, it was that tomorrow it's going to be an open court, and it's expected that all parties, should things not change, they will hear that application of a special plea hearing whereby former President Jacob Zuma wants the state lead prosecutor, Advocate Billy Downer, to be removed as the lead prosecutor. He argues that he is biased against him. He's got a vendetta and an axe to grind against him. He says he's not fit to prosecute this matter. And he also alleges that he doesn't have what is known as a title to prosecute. On the other side, the NPA has said, hang on, he's got the title to prosecute and the authority to prosecute this matter. So tomorrow it's expected that at least we'll get an indication whether that special plea hearing will get underway or not. The main reason it's been delayed is because former President Jacob Zuma has been unwell. He's been in hospital. Remember that he was incarcerated at a correctional facility. After that, he was taken out to a hospital where we are told that he's been undergoing some medical observation. His medical report has been submitted to court. Of course, that is confidential. That is a matter between a doctor and a patient confidentiality. So you will not be able to get all those details, because even though former President Jacob Zuma is charged here, but he still enjoys that privacy, the right to privacy. And that is one of the points that have been argued here in court, to say the state wants to access his medical records, and there was a deal that was agreed upon that the state will appoint its own medical team that will examine the report that would have been submitted by former President Jacob Zuma's medical team. After that, if all parties find each other, a decision will be taken as to what will happen moving forward. So tomorrow we expect that all parties will come to court, and then they will decide what happens based on what would have transpired in terms of the progress regarding former President Jacob Zuma's health status. If he is well and fit to come to court, he will be here, but we expect that at least that special plea hearing will be undertaken tomorrow. And it's simple, really. The former president wants Billy Downer to be removed, but when we were here last time, this is the order that Judge Bidkun handed down. Let's take a listen.
Well, in the circumstances, then, the following order is granted by consent, unless the parties have anything further to add. The order I grant is as follows. 1, the matter is adjourned in the absence of the first accused and the representative of the second accused to 1000 hours on the 21st and 22nd of September 2021 in open court in Pietermaritzburg for 1.1, the first accused special plea in terms of section 106(1)(h) and 4 to be heard. 1.2, if the first accused applies for a further postponement, his application for a further postponement to be heard, which will include the necessary evidence on both sides being led. Paragraph 2, in respect of the application for leave to supplement, it is directed that 2.1, the state shall deliver its answering affidavit on or before 16 September 2021. 2.2, the first accused shall deliver his replying affidavit, if any, on or before 1300 hours on the 20th of September 2021. And then 3, the representative of the second accused is excused from attendance at the hearing on 21 and 22 September 2021.
So, Siphamandla, the last we heard, of course we know that the former president has been released on medical parole. It's unclear whether he's been released from hospital. So I guess it's quite tricky to be able to say whether or not he will be in court tomorrow.
It's very tricky, and especially bearing in mind bearing in mind what his foundation said earlier on, that, well, they will not be communicating the details about his pending release from hospital for security reasons. So as we understand now from our sources, the likelihood is that the former president is still in hospital, and we understand that the main reason he wanted this special plea hearing to be heard in open court is because he wanted to give oral evidence as to why Billy Downer should be removed from leading this prosecution's team. So tomorrow it's not clear whether he will be here or not, but it doesn't matter really, because his own defense team will have to tell the court as to what is happening with the former president. If he is unable to attend, when do they expect him to be released from hospital? If they are unable to do that, they will have to bring an application for postponement and then support that with some evidence. So tomorrow we are likely to get an indication as to what will happen moving forward. So if the former president is not here, his lawyers will tell the judge as to when they expect him to at least come to court, depending, of course, on the advice that they are getting from the medical team that is looking after the former president. If they ask for that postponement, they will have to motivate and bring some, evidence as to why they are seeking for another postponement. But let's take a listen to what Advocate Dalimpofu told the court last time we were here, when he said it appears that medical teams are finding each other. So the context to this is that this team, which is looking after the former president, and the team that was appointed by the state to basically go through the medical report of the former president, that's the team, or those are the teams that he was referring to. Let's take a listen to him.
There's an indication which was made to you that the medical teams are finding each other or getting close to each other. Then we're left with the same three options, namely, if they agree, well, then that's the end of it. If they don't, then there'll be viva voce evidence. But if the health situation improves on Mr. Zuma's side, then the 2 days will be used for the 106, which is exactly what we had agreed on the 10th of August. So we're in the same place, except that there seems to be some progress with the medical teams.
All right, that was our senior reporter, Siphamandla Goge. Still to come.